Hi. Hi. I'm just going live now, so I doubt anyone's out there because this is completely unannounced, except one person. Hey, and one person I talked to, could you tell me if this is coming through? We'll see. I haven't been getting too good a response from these. A few people showing up, but then again, I only advertise one. The rest I'm just doing this popping up. I mean, how do they even know? I guess you guys, a few of you have alerts, so I don't really expect people to be coming out, but I'm always surprised when you do. I see people that advertise these, but then if I advertise them and no one showed up, I'd feel really bad. The one time I advertised it, I had a few. It was I had a decent group, but yeah, I like it this way. So like, if anybody shows up at all, like somebody just did. Hi, hi Max said. Yeah, I'm saying I was just telling Max that I don't know if anybody's watching yet because I didn't advertise this. Well, a few viewers. And all my live streams I haven't been advertising because I just kind of want to see who shows up, and I'm impressed that I just go on live and someone shows up. Because if I had planned it and advertised it like I did once, and I had a decent number of people show up as I was just saying before, but now I know. Sorry to repeat myself, but people are watching now. Um, if I advertised it and nobody showed up, I feel bad. So that's why I do this, because now I'm always happy that I don't advertise it and people show up. Well, hi, Magzad Muhammad. I hope I'm saying that right. And it looks like a few other people are here according to this in my phone, but it never tells you the truth. Like what it might say, two people up there might be five. Like I find out at the end, it gives me a total because people come and go, come and go. Well, I was just gonna come to check on, say hi. It was the first week back at school. Those of you who know me know I'm a teacher, and it was this hybrid thing. The most kids I had in the class was like 8. Some I had 3, and the other 30, 20, 30, whatever it was, kids are at home on Zoom again. So I'm still teaching both. And you think, well, can't you? Yeah, you could teach them all on Zoom. You could have the kids in the class go on the computers, and I did that for a few things, but I think the kids that bother to come to school need to have that experience with me, so I end up kind of doing this back and forth teaching, which isn't bad. It actually turned out pretty good for anybody interested in that. Okay, I lost half my viewers there at that time talking about school, so nobody wanted that. But hey, bigger news, my brother Jeffrey and his wife Sonia, they had their baby at, I guess it would still be today because it was 3 in the morning last night. And they did it at this birth center in Arizona, and they were out just in and out like in 3 hours, just like McDonald's or something, but a little longer. But it's a little girl, and her name is it's Anaya, short for Annihilation, which I think is a great name, and I just can't wait till she gets old enough to like make a laugh and have fun with. The first year I never know what to do with them, but like 1 to 5, like all my nephews and my little brother and sister when they were real little, that's really fun, because my dad remarried, they're a lot younger, so I got to, when I was like 18, 20 or so, I got to play with them. They were really little kids. Who else just came in and said hello? Rollo. Hi, Rollo. Good to see you. Peace to you too. So those were my two big things to talk about. Went back to school. Oh no, here's the main thing. Sorry, I did have something else to talk about. And anyway, now I have a niece. I've had 4 nephews, and I never had a kid myself, which I was always a little sad about. More than a little, but I just accepted it. Now I was married a short time, but it didn't work out. So the big regret was not having kids. But once I got to a certain age, I really don't care about that anymore. It's bad enough having this dog. Can you imagine? But anyway, I had nephews, and they were a lot of fun. But it's going to be really neat to, for the first time, since my sister Leslie was little. This is the first time I've had a girl. Gonna have a girl to play with, a niece, to have fun with and make laugh in like 30 years, 40 years, however. Yeah, geez. So anyway, I'm looking forward to Anaya growing up and having a lot of fun, and hopefully she won't turn into a junkie or anything like that. Let's hope she remains a good girl and a solid citizen. Or worse yet, what if she became a Republican? That'd be far worse. I don't see that happening though. But Arizona, you never know. Anyway, but the other thing I was going to say, if you who came in? Hi, Ivana. Hi, Arlene. Good to see you again. Hi. Oh, Jenna. Jenna's back. Hi, everybody. Well, it's good to see everybody coming up. I didn't announce it, and so this makes me happy. I can only get, like, even if only 10 people show up, if I do it unannounced, that makes me feel good. As I was saying, the point is, if I had announced it and like 4 people showed up, I would have felt bad. But just the fact that anybody shows up when they come on unannounced, that's good. So what did we talk? We talked about being back at school, having most of the kids still home while I'm teaching a few in person and the rest online. Talked about my niece was born at 3 in the morning today, little Anaya, and she's over in Phoenix. Oh, the other thing was, so I've been bemoaning how my numbers have been going down on my viewership, and I just thought that happened. It got me kind of sad. It was really cool about 6 months ago where I had this spike, and I had all these viewers, thousands, even some things even had over 10,000 views, and it kind of went away, and I saw it happen, but it seemed to drop off dramatically. But what I've been getting notes from some of my subscribers from overseas. I'm in America for the past few weeks. At least 4 or 5 different people telling me that they're saying, "Oh, you still have videos." My videos have not been popping up, and people have not been seeing them in a lot of these countries. And I guess that because my viewership was less than half from the United States when it was really strong. I think it still might only be about half, but it was a large difference before, and so I guess that's what happened. Oh, thank you, Jenna. I guess you're talking about my niece. Thank you. I don't think you're congratulating me that my viewership went down, so I think there's a time lag, but thank you, Jenna. But anyway, so that's what happened. So I hate it when people ask people to do it, but if you like my show, if you like my music and you like what I do, if you can find a way to pass it on, that'd be great, because for some reason it stopped being shared in these countries that were really... I don't know why, a glitch or whatever, but the more I look into it, the more I realize this happens to a lot of YouTubers. Their subscribers are not getting their things in the feed for their videos in the feed for a variety of reasons. So that made me a little upset, but it also made me feel bad that it wasn't like 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, whatever it was, but people all at once just decided to stop watching me. Okay. Okay, well, while I'm here, I really didn't have much to say. I just want to say those things. With Toby with these glasses, but I have to look right ahead. These are really just reading glasses. I have to read things. Does anybody have any musical requests? Before I wrap things up, I just want to come on and talk and say hi. Someday when Anaya is like 25, 20, maybe even 16, she can come back and look at this the day she was born. That her uncle who by then has probably been executed or jailed or something, or just maybe in some kind of home. Hopefully on another planet with a dog, she'll look back and she'll see that we did this, and she'll see that Jenna was celebrating me losing numbers and that. Who else just came? Ivana, I'm here watching you from Cuba. All right, Ivana, Cuba was one of those places I got a lot of early viewers, in Mexico. There's a lot of places around Florida, the Keys down there, and then down in Central America. That was at first. Then it started being places like the Netherlands and Sweden and Finland. I'd get all these fans from, and then it was like I don't know, other places. And then all of a sudden, it's just like boom, it stopped. I don't know. Did I do something to offend some government? I don't know. But anyway, thank you. Hi from Cuba. Anybody want me to attempt any songs or anything? Or have any questions about me or the music or the world? Well, Ivana, Jenna, Arlene, Rollo, Magzad, and whoever else is out there coming, thank you for coming. I'll just think of something to play to see us out if nobody has a request or anything. All right, I will play one of my favorite, it's on here a lot. If those of you who've been watching my videos, you're probably sick of it, but it's one of my favorite songs I ever wrote. It's on this channel at least 8 times, twice or 3 times with my band Pulse Johnson, a couple times with the guys that I play with now, just a couple of me doing it solo electric. So here we'll do Crows Fly. I wrote it in 1989, co-wrote it with my friends Jeff Kossoff and Dave Rufo, with a band called The Face Cookies. Jenna, my favorite song is that I wrote is this one by if you mean my favorite song ever, it's hard to say. I was just thinking it might be All Along the Watchtower, because you have the greatest songwriter, Bob Dylan, and then Jimi Hendrix, the greatest guitarist of all time, does this great version of it that is so perfect. I just Freak Surf Cues. I don't know that song, Mohammed, but I will look it up for next time. I promise. If that's the song, Freak Surf Cues. Is that the band, or is that the song, or is that both? Okay. Mogzad, I mean. I hope I'm saying that right. Okay. Here, I'll do Crow Flies, because I wrote that, and if you've been on here, you've seen me do this a lot here. I'm sorry, I'm getting texts. This This person does not know I'm on live now. I'm going to say, I'm on live now. Go look at my channel. Period. That was my friend JT. He's watching The Mandalorian for the first time, which was really cool. I didn't like the ending. That. Okay. So the way this song was written, my band, I'd gone to California for the second time, to go to grad school, and I ended up not finishing. And I came back to be with this girl, and that didn't work out. So by the time I got back, I ended up moving to Connecticut, and because my mom had a place there, and parents were tough then. She let me stay there I could have stayed there a month, but I had to get an apartment, get a job, and get out quick. But once I was 17, I haven't spent a total of a year in my life. I'm 58 now. From 17 to now with any kind of relative. It's a different world back then. Now I see kids stay with their parents forever. It wasn't even like it was a thought. It wasn't even like I would be homeless. That's all. There was no way around it. And I lived in California, and back in the 80s, I moved out there in the early 80s. Me and my friends, and our parents didn't know where we were. We didn't have phones. We were on the other side of the country. We were from New York, and it wasn't that normal. We were adults. Nowadays, it's a different world. But anyway, I came back, and I saw my old friends, Dave Rufo and Jeff Kossoff, and our band, Curse, the Face Cookies. And we had a reunion concert in this place called Townshend Field out in Manlius, New York, which is outside of Syracuse. And I think we have it on video. Rufo probably has it somewhere, and we haven't talked to him in a long, long time. And they just started hitting these chords. And I sang these words exactly as they are now, and it just fit perfect. Even the changes were hit at the right time, and everything that song came fully formed. This afternoon got straight my way as the crow flies, packing up again in a dark shell, not knowing why. Went to the west and it wasn't enough, and I stayed on the east, and it got tough, and I don't know. As the crow flies, and you bleed so much from your stomach and your head, and you wake up in the morning wishing you were dead, but you can't be. And the track seems so long, it's the only time you feel like you're halfway effing alive. Crow flies. Ooh, 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 ooh. And you're rolling in the grass, and you're walking down the road, and another day laughing, and another day gone, and you're older as the crow flies. And you bleed so much from your stomach and your head, and you wake up in the morning wishing you were dead, but you can't be. And the track seems so long, it's the only time you feel like you're halfway effing alive. As the crow flies, as the crow flies away, watch him go, stop and stay. As the crow flies away, fly away, fly away, fly away. Fly away, little crow bird, fly away, like the sun and the moon, popping down, stop and stay. Fly away. And you bleed so much from the stomach in your head, and you wake in the morning wishing you're dead, and you can't be. And the track seems so long, it's the only time you feel like you're halfway out. As the crow flies. And that is As the Crow Flies, written by Jay Shelton, Jeff Kossoff, and Dave Rufo. Wow, you sing so good. Thank you, Danella. Toke, I wake up in the morning wishing I was dead as well. That was a song from a long time ago, and I managed to live a good 35 years past that, Toke, so don't take it so hard. And I'm glad to have you back, Toke. I know I did a request of yours once. Glad to see you performing, Mr. Shelton. Who is F0GX? I wonder if that's one of my students. Okay. Well, God, look, there's quite a few of you coming up there. If you guys have any questions, I'll stay. Hi, thank you, Daniela, very much. If you guys have any questions, I'll stay on. Or if anybody has another request that I know, like the curse one, I don't know offhand. Thank you, Toke. Thank you, Jenna. Does anybody have any questions for me or anything? Oh, thank you again, Daniela. I gotta say, there's someone I know named Danila, who's a Russian name for a man, and you're Daniela, and so my tongue gets a little tied. Anybody else have any questions? Or any requests or anything? I like those hands you're making, Jenna. Okay, but anyway, yeah, I miss kind of teaching from home, spending time with the dog, but at least he gets to see me and he's happy to see me every time I come home. And 2 days a week, I go to school, come home for a while, then go back. And so I get to see him twice, get excited to see me. So that's one good part. Yes, I'm an art teacher. In fact, those of you who want, I think, pretty good lessons in drawing and painting, it's kind of what I'm known for in that field. Teaching life drawing, figure drawing, portrait drawing, that kind of thing. I have another web channel just called J Shelton where I give lessons and pointers. Now, you're not going to see me do beautiful pieces of art, but what I do is I break down the skills very raw and I show some examples from the past. They're really meant to accentuate what I do in the classroom, but I think they're fine for anybody that wants to do a little work, that has a little ability. You go watch those and you'll learn a lot about how to draw a portrait, how to draw a figure, how to show foreshortening, how to do perspective, how to show how to use colored pencil, how to do hair, all that kind of stuff from life. What does the name Bertelson mean? Okay, it's okay, huh? Bertelson, well, my name is Jay, and which I never felt like me. I really don't care for that name, but it's jaybird, right? Like the Latin word jay is a bird. And my dad would call me jaybird when I was little. And so that just grew into bird, Bertel, and then Bertelson. And my name was Bertelson. And then I had an account on here, Bertelson. You can go watch my older music videos from about 13 years ago under Bertelson, Birdleson. But something I did got I think I was a real wise ass in someone's channel and they cut my account so I couldn't. No, I lost my email account that was Bertelson because of something I did on some AOL chat. I don't know what it was. Because AOL was the thing at the time. See, I guess that's old, but that's how old I am. So my new account, I just cut off the letter N. So it's Bertelso, it's just Bertelson without the end. That's pretty good. That's interesting. Okay, I would take the name Jay over mine. What's your name, Togue? Togue's not a bad name. Somebody had a question about King. King, come here. King, I'll bring him here. King, come. Come. King, come here, puppy. There he is. He was on my bed. Here he is. God, I hate standing up showing my stomach. Do you know when we first went into this quarantine, I'd gotten pretty heavy. Because when I was a kid, I was a runner. I was skinny. I lost 30 pounds in the middle of this. And if you watch my videos, you can see I got really heavy. And there's one from last year where I'm playing with the guys I work with, Tyler Kripe, who I've done a lot of videos with, and Brian Chow, who I'm going to do another with soon. Brian's playing drums, and Kripe and I are playing guitar. There's 2 of those videos from last year. If you look through the free concerts for the peoples. And I look at myself, and I was so fat, I got embarrassed. It made me sick. So I just stopped eating sweets and a lot of bread. And if you watch, I get thinner and thinner and thinner. And I look pretty good when I was about 5 months ago. But if you start watching again, I've been gaining. So I lost about 30 pounds. I gained about 20 back. So now I'm trying to reverse it the other way. And maybe that's true. My viewership gets better the thinner I get. And when I got heavier, it started going down again. So I think there's something to that. Okay, I would take that sucks. Is that Rick and Morty down the back? Yeah, one of my students knows I laugh. I told him, my nephew, I guess my nephew Marley got me into Rick and Morty. There it is back there, Rick. And he got me into Rick and Morty. God, are my britches falling down in the back? That'd be embarrassing. And, my students, I told my students, I think it's the only show on the air that makes me laugh anymore. It really is. So they got me one of them got me a doll. I don't think she wants me telling her name. I don't think she cares. But Nick, it's funny because sometimes it's just sitting in a chair, and I'll start telling Kings things. I go, that Rick, and I'll just start mumbling Rick, and next thing I know, he's attacking it. What about that Rick? What do you think about that Rick? That's not gonna. He's not in the mood right now. Let's see what else we got. He's cute. Yeah, he's a monster. You want to see him get mad at me? Watch this. Hey, King. You want a tummy footsie? You want a tummy footsie? You want a tummy footsie? Here it comes. Here comes the tummy footsie. All right, no tummy footsie. Yep. I'm sorry. Let's be friends. Friends. All right. Okay. There we go. He hates tummy footsies. Absolutely hates them. I am a cool art teacher. I'm the best art teacher there ever was. Not only am I cool, like fun and smart and funny, I am the best art teacher in the world too. Ever. Any of my students on here? I saw somebody say Mr. Shelton F0X. You tell them I'm right. Anybody else? Any other questions? I've taught in both coasts. I've taught New York State. I've taught Southern California. I've taught Northern California. I've taught at a private Jewish school. I taught public school in upstate New York, public school in Oxnard in the really gang area. I taught public school up here in the Bay Area and Silicon Valley now in Cupertino. Taught a lot of places. There you go. I'm not even exaggerating, Toke. Anything else? Any other questions or any other guitar you want to hear? Hello. I went to Syracuse University I went to high school in upstate New York, in Endicott, New York, which is outside of Binghamton, New York. And Syracuse University is a school north about 70 miles, and I was an art major, and for a year I was a painting major. I'm film major, but this was back in the early 80s before there was anything digital. So you had to buy film, and you couldn't reshoot it, and you had to edit it. So it was just too expensive to be a film major at some point. So I'd always been an artist, so I switched to being a painting major. And then I goofed around a couple of years and moved out to LA with some friends, and we had a lot of good times. And I slowly went back and forth, and I started working as a PE teacher at this private Jewish school in LA. I'm Jewish, not religious, but this was not religious at all. This was a really religious school with the kippahs and everything. It was the most religious school in LA. And I noticed some of the other private teachers there were also working on their teaching credential because they didn't pay us anything. I think I got paid like $15,000 a year back then. And so I went back to New York for a while and lived in Connecticut, and I was a teen director of a Jewish community center, and went back to, which was crazy. And then I went back to California to finish cheap grad school, and I ended up teaching in California. So, we were talking where I went to college, yeah. So I got my graduate degree at Cal State Northridge for the sole reason that the Cal State system was so cheap. It still is very cheap, but back then it was almost nothing. So Syracuse University and Cal State Northridge for grad school, with a few classes taken one summer at Shippensburg University and Santa Barbara City College. Let me see. I'm going to sleep right now. Bye, Daniela. Good night. I'm putting you to sleep. Listen to Mr. Shelton, guys. Thank you, F0GX. This is the most wholesome YouTube channel that I can follow. God, wholesome. I picked my nose once. I know one of my nephews has a channel where it's just all fights and things like that. It's funny because we talked once. He's like 18. He just got out of high school. And I asked him what his percentage to male to female is, because mine is 99.7% female, my audience, and his is the opposite exactly, male to female. You're welcome, Ariana. It's kind of my job, and thank you for coming. This has been a lot of fun. I got to do this more often. The other times I just came on, played a song, got off, but just come on to talk and kind of play a song now and then. It'd be fun. So I've had a lot of adventures and a lot of stories, and I've hitchhiked around, I've driven around the country, I've met people you wouldn't believe, done a lot of crazy things. So I have a lot of things to talk about if you guys ever want to hear them. A lot of things. Oh, anyway, anybody want to hear another song, anything before I go? Anybody want to hear a cover? Do you want to hear a song by The Who? Anybody like The Who? It's like my favorite band in high school. Thank you, Ariana. It's been fun for me. Rojas means red, right? Let me see. Was that Rojas? I think that's right. Okay. You know, The Who was my favorite band when I was a teenager. And Pete Townshend, the songwriter and guitar player. I don't mind all the guys dancing with my girl. Bells chime, I know them all pretty well. And I know sometimes I must get out of the light. Better leave her behind, and the kids are alright. The kids are alright. Sometime I feel I gotta get away. Bells chime, I know I better get away. And I know if I don't, I'll go out of my mind. Better leave her behind with the kids, they're alright. The kids are alright. I know if I go, things will be a lot better for her. I had things planned, but her folks wouldn't let her. Sometime I feel I better get away. Bells chime, I know I better get away. And I know if I don't, I'll go out of my mind. Better leave her behind. The kids are alright. The kids are alright. Okay, that's Pete Townshend, The Who's The Kids Are Alright, from I think like 1963 or 4 or 5 or something like that. Yes, that was it. You should play another one of your songs. I'm a huge Bird fan. Thank you, Tug. Max said thank you very much. Okay, I'll play one more of my songs, then we'll call it a night. Okay, you want to hear a really... I think I've told this story before. It's on here a couple times. It's kind of you can't have a bright light for this song. Okay, it's call it I Thought It Was a Wedding Ring. I need some light on me, sorry. Let me turn off the other light. Okay. I wrote this when I was in grad school, so that means it was either the early 80s or late 80s or early 90s, 2 different times I was in grad school. Let somebody else write. I'm a huge... Okay, thank you. This one's called I Thought It Was a Wedding Ring. And the story behind this one is... I just told the story somewhere. I was in grad school, and I was probably about 28, and I was very immature at 28. Believe me, I mean, I'd done a lot of things. I'd been around, but just I was silly. Like I still am. I'm always a little bit like, a few decades behind where I should be that way. Even though I think in other ways I'm a little sharp. But I was. It was years before I was married. My marriage was very brief. That's another story for another time. But I was in class, and there's this woman who was older, so she's probably like 32, but really, really pretty. And she was nice, and she was friendly, and we were talking in class, one of those night classes, grad school classes. And she had a ring on her finger. And I said to myself, okay, she's married. I said, okay, I'm not going to talk to her. And then I think I told this story on here already, so sorry if I'm repeating myself on another video. And then the whole semester goes on, and she's talking to me, and I always think, boy, I really wish that she wasn't married. And then the last day of class, I just said something about her and her husband, and she said, I'm not married, and she turned and walked away, and I never saw her again. I go, geez. And I'm thinking home, I go, right hand, left hand, right hand. I go, oh. And I went home and I wrote this song. I thought it was a wedding ring, but it's kind of a disturbing song as most of my songs were back then. In some ways, it's just I don't know. So, in fact, it's so creepy. I think my bass player from the not my bass player. Other musicians hate it when you call it my this or that. But the bass player is with Paul Johnson in the Paul Johnson band. He hated playing it. It was just something about it. Listen to my fancy toes, listen pretty Peggy-O. A few dumb words, I'm good at that. Not much else, but I'm good at that. So critical of everything, how can I stand anything? She kicked her heels and we were home. I was home and she was home. Costume luck is into me, onto me, all over me. Can I have your dirty things? Please let me see your dirty things. 7 days to catch my breath, a lifetime of a poor man's death. Look at me, please look at me. Can't you even look at me? Anyway, that is, I thought it was a wedding ring. Any thoughts on that or questions? Did everybody leave with that one? That one's a little dark. See, now I'm getting no response. It gets me nervous that it was too dark. Down to 4 viewers. Well, okay. Yes, everybody's gone. Or a few people there. Nice talking to you all. Any responses? Anybody else? Okay. This is a good song. Thank you, Toke. I guess you guys are a little behind. There's a delay. Thank you very much, Toke. All right, I think that's it. I did 3 songs, 2 originals and a cover. We talked a lot. Maybe this will be a Friday thing. Toke is still there. Yeah, it looks like I still have 4 people there. Well, there were quite a few people came by. Again, thank you very much, Jen. Thank you. I appreciate it. I don't know. There was a delay, so you guys didn't answer. For me, it's been like a while since you guys... You're not even hearing me now. Hi, Carla. Hi, Rollo. Good to see you, too. Okay. Yeah, there's a delay. Okay, guys. Thank you so much for coming. You guys have been great. I'll make this a regular Friday thing. What time is it? Maybe around 8 o'clock, 8:15. Back when I was a kid, that's when I'd be out every Friday, but now I have nothing to do, and you guys are from all over the place. Thank you, F0GX. I think at one time I knew who you were, F0GX. I think you're one of my students, right? You just don't want to say. It's okay. I like being mysterious, too. Okay, everybody, have a great night. Thank you all for coming. It's been a lot of fun.